folks, Kelly Cutler here with some more stock analysis on the Day Trading Podcast 101. Got my trusty globe back here that my wife gave me for Christmas. My lucky globe. I recommend all you guys get one. So the point of these videos is for anybody out there to watch, to maybe grasp some concept faster than I did. I'm trying to cut down on the amount of time that it might take you to start making money in the market by teaching things, mistakes mainly, that I've made. And it's also kind of a video journaling system, if you will, on what I've done since 2015 when I retired from teaching and I started pursuing the stock market full time. So let's go into some of our analysis here. We're in 2019 now. Stock analysis right here, as you can see from this chart. These again are just ideas that I try to implement in the market to see if they work or not. On your left side here, you have all of the symbols, or some of the symbols that I like to use. I would recommend cutting down your symbols to just a handful. Right now I'm only using 4, and I used to think like the more the merrier, diversified portfolio and whatnot, but I think that's all a little bit of rubbish for day traders. Now, if you are a long-term trader, then I totally believe in a diversified portfolio. You just have to, because you can't put all your money into Circuit City or something that's going to go bankrupt, which I did in 2009. So if you look at this graph here, you have some of the symbols that I use, and the idea here was I kept track of where that stock was from the starting point that I started tracking it. So if it was going up, then obviously you would get plus points, and if it was going down, it would obviously get negative points. I didn't really grasp what I was trying to do here besides keeping track of how close the stock was to the mean, to the average. As you saw in my last video, episode 2, we talked about dollar cost averaging. Because the further it gets away from the average, so my uncle Tony, actually, I'll give him credit, he said something that was very provocative. He says that doesn't matter what happens in the market, everything returns or retracts to the mean, to the average. It might take a week, it might take a year, but everything retracts to the mean. So the idea with this chart here was I was tracking how far away from the mean we got, because the further you get away, the harder it's going to rubber band back. That's another law of the universe. If you've noticed, not just in the stock market, but everything boomerangs back. Nothing ever stays the same. Life is just a teeter-totter, that's why some days you have great news, other days you have shit news, and it does that always, and it's just how you mitigate it, and that's based on how successful you're going to be, is how you mitigate the hard days from the easy good days. So that's what I was trying to do here. It's always nice to know a mean. It's always nice to know how far away we're going, if we're down, if we're up, and how hard that's going to rubber band back. Let's look at stock analysis here. This is the symbols I used a couple of years ago. I still use some of these today. And let's talk about stock symbols. How do I know what to invest in? It just depends on your equity. I used to, a few years ago, I thought that penny stocks, just find something that's going to explode and make me a millionaire overnight. That's like playing the lottery, honestly. If you want long-term wealth, sorry to say, but get out of the frickin' penny stocks. So look at your equity and determine what size of a share you can afford to purchase a lot of shares of. So let's say, in my experience, if you have $10,000 invested, then you probably are looking at $5 to $10 stocks. I wouldn't go much lower than 5. They just don't move enough for you to make any money on, especially if you're a day trader. And then go up from there, scale up from there. So if you have $25,000, now start looking at $30 stocks, $25 stocks. If you have $50,000, start looking at $50,000 or $50 stocks, $45 stocks, $30 stocks. The more a stock share price costs, the more volatile it's going to be, the more opportunity you have to make money on it. Therefore, what you need to do is continue to increase your equity every single day. Every paycheck, every dollar you make, you need to take 20% of that, no matter what, and put it into your funding account, your investment account, and you never touch that money. Okay, 20% is going in there. You're never going to touch that money. Well, how do I pay my bills? You'll find a way. You'll pay your bills. But the point of the matter is, if you're chipping in 20% every day, every week, every month, that 20% is growing. And now, let's say you made $1,000. Well, you can take that $800 and you can pay your bills or go out to dinner or whatever you need to do. And the $200, the 20% of that stays in. Your account just grew again. You make another $1,000, your account just grew again. You make $2,000, your account just grew again. You never touch it, because the bigger your equity gets, the more opportunity you're going to have to make massive strides in the market. Grow your equity, because the bigger shared stocks, I'm at around, I'd say the $40, $50, $60 mark per share. But the more that your account grows, the quicker you're going to be able to profit and become wealthy off of this stuff. So you can't just sit there with $1,000 or $5,000 and go, oh, I hope this penny stock flies through the roof. Well, you can do that, but chances are, huge chances, it's not going to happen. That's like playing the lottery. So find some securities, and I'll do, maybe the next video I'll do like what constitutes a good security. For day traders, it doesn't really matter. I used to like do it just because I wanted to make sure the company wasn't going bankrupt, but a company is generally not going to tank in the middle of market hours, and day traders, you're not in the market overnight. So if it tanks overnight, well, you missed it. You're always going to dodge those bullets. If you're a long-term trader, then knowing the health of a security, of a company, is a lot more important than if you're a day trader. Next time we will talk about stock symbols. Let's see if we can squeeze one more in before this is over. Oh, just trade journal. If you want to learn the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts about this, you need to start a trade journal. Every single day, write down what you did, the money you made, where you messed up, your mistakes. I've been writing trade journals since 2015. Sometimes I was like just repeating myself or feeling like, why am I even writing this? This is a huge waste of time, but it's not. I've learned so much because I've written it down and because I've learned from my failures. And as these videos progress, I'm going to give you my techniques, how I make money in the market, which is starting to roll because I've increased my equity, like I just discussed. And it's also increased my profiteering, if you will, because of my trade journals. So start now. You can start today, even if you're investing $100 or whatever, and just write down what you did, what worked and what didn't work. Mainly write down your failures, because those are things you never want to pursue again. But sometimes your failures aren't actually failures. They're just a failure for that day, for that moment. So you can't just discount that completely out. But I don't want to get too off the rails here. So I guess the key takeaways today is, if you're a day trader, you don't need a ton of stock symbols. Increase your equity every single chance you get. Every dollar you make, put 20% into your investment account to continue to grow for lifetime wealth. And start yourself a trade journal right now, today. All right, have a good day, everyone. Talk to you later.